What's up, family? Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Demoie, and welcome back to another episode of The Search Continues. If you haven't already, go check out that last episode. It'll give you some insight, as well as check out the blog. We got everything. We got the audio, we got the video, we got the text, pictures, images. It's amazing. Check it out. And if you haven't already, like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's continue. So last we left off, I started my career in art school as a transfer. I did feel like a little bit of an outcast just because I didn't start with these people. I'm like just a new random guy that's just here. I remember one of my first memories of making friends was being in a studio class, and I was like playing some music, and some dude was like, "What you know about that?" And I'm like, "What you know about that?" And like that was kind of like the beginning of our friendship from then till now. Shout out to my guy Sonny.
Why are we dead trapped in this elevator right now?
I don't understand.
That's how college friendships usually start. There's always like a thing said, or someone sat down somewhere, or someone bumped into me, or someone cut me in the line, and then you guys kind of grow from there. There was a different pace and intensity when it came to art-focused work in my new program. But coming from a different place as like a black youth in New Jersey, and coming into this now like, you know, art bubble was kind of a different like mold for me to fit in. The tonality shifts and the conversations are not as open. So I had to shape my delivery and reception, but also do the introspective work that you do in art school, because you're gonna do it. It's art school. Man, it's getting hot. Throw the bucket on. Other challenges that I faced being a commuter was that I had to travel. I didn't live at the school, and I still worked in Nutley, New Jersey, so I would have to leave my Edison abode, go to North Jersey, and then come back down to the area just to get to class. I staggered my work and classes so that, you know, I had the opportunity to travel, but I was always tired, I was always in a rush, and I never felt fulfilled. There were times though I did get the opportunity to party and hang out, but that came at the cost of like ditching work or leaving early or sneaking out to, you know, get to a party or something, or hang out with a chick. I was working as a painter and a maintenance worker for a chain of apartment complexes in North Jersey. And at the same time, I would be freelancing, shooting, going on sets and things like that. So my resume at the time consisted of just that, maintenance and a few gigs. And I didn't know how to put together a resume at the time, so it was just regular and handy work, mostly. 2016 was the year that I realized that, hey, I have to be all in. I have to attack this at full force if I really want to get it done. Work, school, creative. I was paying interest on my debt and at the same time acquiring more. So I knew that there would be no time to chill after this was all complete. I made decisions to consistently market myself within the community of New Jersey as a filmmaker. So I would do things every year. I held an annual cypher called the Spring Break Cypher, some of you may know. We featured local artists and we put them all together and just have them rap over some beats created by producers that I knew personally. And you know, we had guys like Proda, Mac McCrae, Showcase, Infinite, Cash Leap, Pete, Che, Reg Mason, and a whole lot others. If I haven't mentioned you, you know it's all love. You see yourself on the screen. But the third iteration of that was actually the last, just because I needed time to focus on my education and other things. One goal that I had for myself at the time was to seek out an internship, so I started looking, and I found one. I went home one night, and I was searching, and right before I went to sleep, I saw one online. I typed in the application info, hit the send button, went to sleep. The next day, I wake up, I get an email from the internship saying, "Hey, we want to talk to you, come on in." So I'm excited, I get there, I go into the office, and the manager, she greets me and she says, "Hi, I'm Mia. Do you know why I called you in?" And I'm like, "My resume?" Yeah, but not really, because there was one link on there that I clicked, and that's why I emailed you. But the rest of your resume is not creative. This is a creative role. Spice it up, liven it up. I will always remember that conversation just because it was one of the first where someone really told me to take myself seriously on paper. Shout out to Mia Conway, black women always crushing it. Every opportunity I got that was big was given to me by a black woman, so shout out to y'all. But we laughed about it, the conversation was great, and by the end, she actually offered me the internship. I was ecstatic, and I was like, man, this should be a walk in the park, because I just finished the internship and it was grueling. Boy, was I wrong. I was wrong. what? After I left the office, it all started to sink in and I started to spiral because I live in the middle of New Jersey and I have to take this voyage all the way to New York 6th Ave and, you know, take a train to get to Penn, to get to 6th, to walk up 6 sometimes. The office was right across the street from the Rockefeller Center and the HBO building was nearby. I would walk by it every day, looking up at it, inspired. I actually ran into Issa Rae at the HBO building, took some photos for her and some fans, and I got to ask her about ATL and Insecure and if there's any parallels. But that's the kind of place New York is, especially working with this company, doing this internship. There was writers, actors, producers, music people all the time.
So I'm on the way to office. Over the summer I got an internship at Complex Media. So come here every week and I do my thing.
Another one of my favorite stories ever happened that summer also. I was meeting my friend Sade downtown to take some photos for her birthday. I randomly stumbled across a muralist who was crushing it in the city that summer, and he was painting live. So there was people crowded around him a little bit. Pull out my camera, I'm lining up the shot, and I see a guy in like a sequin shirt and all these things. And I go to make a big step, and then someone stops me and they say, "Hey man, watch out, dude, about to step in some dog." And I'm like, "Thanks, man." Go back to look at my viewfinder, and then it clicks. I look down the street, and it's 3 Stacks walking away. And I was like, damn. I'm not about to run after Andre with a camera in my hand. I'm a little crazy. So I was like, all right, that's how it's supposed to be. I didn't get to ask him my fan question, but it's okay. Right after that, Sade comes up the street. She's like, "Oh my God, guess what I made on my birthday?" And I'm like, yep, happy birthday. Yo, shout out to Sade. Definitely check out her music. She's a beautiful singer. It's going to be somewhere here on the screen. I think 2016, New Jersey, New York was the time to be alive. One summer night, I get a call from Showcase and Chris, and they're telling me about a secret party with Chase B and that I should come through. So we all get in the car, we go to New York City, and I don't know anything about this party. I'm just there for the vibe. So we're in the line, hanging out, a lot of cool people. We're standing outside of this hotel, and I'm talking to one of the members of the ASAP collective, and mid-conversation, Virgil Abloh walks over, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. And I got my camera, so I'm not trying to be weird. I'm just like hanging out, like, yeah, like I belong here. I don't. And Virgil's like, "Oh yeah, my bad, pardon me." Now I was confused because I thought Virgil was about to be like, "Yeah, yo, what's good, blah blah blah," like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm a big dude, but he's a nice, gentle, calm person. We all go underneath this hotel and it's a vibe. Like, I see my friend Ike on stage with Chase, and I meet some cool people. ASAP Mob comes through, parties, and I get all this epic footage. It was just a night, bro. I met some cool people. Shout out to Mike and everyone else who I met that night. I say all that to say New York was a blast, but I got caught up in like having so much fun and then also having to go back across the bridge and take that 2-hour trip back to Jersey. So a lot of nights were kind of cut short, or marketing events or opportunities were cut short because I wasn't physically there for more than, I don't know, 5 hours at a time. So it made me actually want to get to the city one day. But I still had disdain for it just because I grew up next to it my whole life. So, double-edged sword. Although I had much fun, everything wasn't sunshine and roses all the time. Sometimes I would get home late off the transit and miss my summer class. I'd get back from no sleep and then have to go in and operate dangerous machinery at work the next day. Sacrifices had to be made for me to actually try to make something for myself. There were times where I let people down, and it wasn't because I wanted to, it was because it was physically impossible for me not to. And I didn't have the awareness that I do now to say no, or no, I can't, or that's impossible. You know, those are the things that you learn as you go, but you can't beat yourself up about these things forever. You know, that's why I'm sharing them with you, because I like you. So with my newfound responsibility, after completing the second intern session, I decided to shift my focus back to the academic work and focus on my thesis. So returning back to school, one of the last projects that I worked on was with my homie Sunny, who co-directed a music video for my guy E in Delta the Butterfly. We've been procrastinating on working on something for forever, so this was the perfect opportunity. I found an old abandoned cement shop in New Jersey, and that's where we used to shoot the video. We shot the video in half a day, and it just looked amazing. It looked like we were out in Egypt or Middle East somewhere. Upon wrapping that shoot, I realized though that I actually signed up for a student flight class that same day, and I only had an hour to get there. So I packed everything up, threw it in the car, and we went to South Jersey to do this flight. You know, I'm doing a discovery flight, and it's my first time flying ever. It's pretty dope.
Yep.
I'm here with my guy Cameron. I'm about to get going. I'm excited. I got my trust in this guy. He's been doing it for 6 years. So we're gonna get up in the sky. First time flying.
Then pull it towards you. That'll kind of pop out. Yep, so pull it all the way out. Now push it in. Do that 2 more times for me. Flip that red switch for me. That's our electrical.
I was nervous as hell, but my instructor assured me that we would be fine. We go up into the air and I'm just like, oh my God, this is the craziest thing ever. Smallest plane I've ever been on. We fly over the Hudson, and on the way back, my instructor turns to me and he's like, hey, you wanna fly over Newark Airport? And I'm like, yeah. So he radios in, they give him confirmation, and we're over the airport. We're actually seeing the planes line up and fly into Newark Airport. Amazing. Then after we get clear of the airport, he's like, hey man, you wanna fly? And I'm like, yeah, I wanna fly. I've never flown anything before. Man, I guarantee you flying is way safer than driving, and I can't wait to do it again. Okay, well, that wraps it up for this episode of The Search Continues. Like, comment, share, subscribe with the homies. Check out the blog, social media, everything, man. Until next time.